Today we're talking about call generation. And if you want to stop wasting money on garbage leads and actually build a real business, you need to learn how to generate consumer-initiated inbound calls. So in this video, I'm going to walk through the complete system I built after managing over $100 million in ad spend across insurance and home services. And by the way, my name is John Ventura. I founded AdSync Media and CallSync, and I think about this stuff every single day. After watching this, I guarantee you'll think differently about how you run your business. Because most agents are optimizing the wrong metric. They're focused on cost per lead when they should be focused on cost per enrolled customer. And that one shift changes everything. All right, let's dive in. This system breaks down into 5 core components, and I'm going to show you exactly how each one works. Component number 1 is what I call high intent ad campaigns. And here's why this matters. Most agents are running ads that capture form fills. Someone sees your ad, clicks through to a landing page, types in their information, submits the form, and then you call 3 hours later and they don't answer. You've seen this play out 1,000 times. That person filled out a form on 15 different sites that day. They're comparison shopping. They're in research mode, not buying mode. Now here's the shift. High intent campaigns are designed to make calling easier than clicking. Ad itself promotes an immediate phone call. The consumer picks up their phone, dials your number, and they're connected to a live agent in seconds. That is a completely different buyer. So tactically, here's how you structure these campaigns. You need 5 core elements, and I call this the high intent framework. Element 1 is mode match. Your ad creative needs to match the platform behavior. On Google search, someone's actively looking for a solution right now. Your ad should be direct and specific with your phone number very prominent. On Facebook, someone's scrolling passively. Your ad needs to pattern interrupt with a visual hook and low friction path to call. On YouTube, someone's watching content, maybe all day. Your ad needs to feel like an extension of that content, not a hard interrupt. Element 2 is what I call friction flip. Traditional ads try to reduce friction everywhere. Click here or the usual learn more, no email required, instant quote, but that's actually creating the wrong behavior. You want just enough friction to filter out the tire kickers. Not so much that serious buyers bounce. A phone call is perfect friction. It's easy enough that motivated buyers will do it, but knowing enough that people just browsing won't even bother. Element 3 is specificity. Vague ads attract vague leads. If your ad says affordable insurance, you'll get calls from people asking, what the hell does affordable mean? If your ad says Medicare Supplement G for $127 a month in Dallas County for 65-year-olds, you'll get calls from exactly that person. They already know what they want, and they're calling to enroll, not to shop around. Element 4 is time anchors. Urgency without being scamming. Open enrollment ends December 7th is a real deadline. That creates friction. Open enrollment ends December 7th is a real deadline. That creates action. While limited time offer with no actual limit is just noise. Use real dates, real deadlines, real inventory constraints. That's what drives immediate calls. Element 5 is compliance first. This is where most agents get burned. You can't say final expense from $9 a month if that's only available for a 50-year-old, non-smoker, and perfect health. The FTC and state insurance departments are cracking down hard on all of this. Your ad needs to be defensible, which means clear disclosures, realistic pricing based on median scenarios, and no bait and switch tactics. Now let's talk about platforms. You've got 3 primary channels for high intent call campaigns. Google search is the highest intent, because someone is literally typing best life insurance in 2026, or is it worth getting life insurance, into the search bar right now. They're actively shopping. Your ad shows up, they click call, and you've got a qualified conversation. Downside is it's expensive. Cost per call can run $50 to $150 depending on your market and competition. Facebook and Instagram are lower intent, but way cheaper. Cost per call runs $15 to $40 depending on the industry. The key is creative testing. You need visual hooks that stop the scroll. Testimonial videos for insurance, benefit callouts that speak directly to pain points. Your creative needs to refresh every 2 to 3 weeks because Facebook audiences burn out fast. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and native platforms like Outbrain are the middle ground. Cost per call is $25 to $60. Intent is moderate because people are consuming content, not actively shopping, but they are engaged. Your ads need to feel educational, not salesy. Tutorial formats, problem-solving angles, value-first approaches. All right, component number 2 is the actual call itself. And this is where the magic happens. Consumer-initiated inbound calls are fundamentally different from cold outreach, and I'm going to show you exactly why. When you cold call someone you found on an aged list or a Facebook forum, that person didn't ask to talk to you. They're doing something else when you interrupted them. Maybe they're at work, maybe they're making dinner, maybe they're watching TV. And psychologically, they're in defensive mode. They're thinking, who is this person and how do I get off this call fast? But when someone dials your number, that entire dynamic flips. They initiated contact, which means they're in buying mode, not defense mode. They picked up the phone, dialed the number, and they're expecting to talk to an agent right now. That's behavior advantage number 1, and it changes everything. Advantage number 2 is timing. With cold outreach, you've got maybe a 15% contact rate. If you're lucky and you're calling people hours or days after they submitted a form, their motivation has cooled. They've talked to other agents. They're no longer in that hot buying window. But with consumer-initiated calls, there's zero lag time. They call you, you answer, you're having the enrollment conversation while they're still in decision mode. Let me give you some numbers here, because this is where people don't believe me until they see the data. The top agents on our platform convert 25 to 30% of inbound calls into enrolled customers. That's 1 in 4 calls turning into actual business. Compare that to cold outreach, where industry average is 2 to 3%. You're looking at a 10x difference in close rates. Why does this work? Advantage 3 is what I call micro-commitment psychology. When someone dials your number, they've already made the decision to have this conversation. They've committed to spending 5 or 10 minutes talking about their insurance needs. You're not fighting resistance. You're just guiding the conversation toward enrollment. And advantage number 4 is compliance. This is huge, and most agents don't realize how exposed they really are. TCPA regulations say you cannot call cell phones for marketing purposes without prior express written consent. If you call someone who didn't explicitly opt in, you're risking $500 to $1,500 in fines per violation. There are law firms that specialize in TCPA class action lawsuits. They target insurance agencies and they're making millions. But when the consumer dials you first, that call is 100% TCPA compliant. You didn't initiate contact, they did. That exemption protects you completely. Now here's what actually happens with most inbound call systems and why agents are still leaving money on the table. Someone calls, the phone rings, nobody answers, or it goes to voicemail. The caller hangs up and calls the next agent on their list. Studies show that 80% of people will not leave a voicemail. They just move on. And speed matters more than anything. Research shows if you answer within 30 seconds, you've got a 31% conversion rate. If the call gets answered after 5 minutes, that drops to 4%. Time kills all deals. That's why component number 3 is real-time routing, and this is where our technology comes in. The basic idea is this. When someone calls our ads, they don't just ring one agent's phone and hope someone picks up. The call goes to an intelligent routing system that pre-qualifies the caller, matches them to the right agent based on product type and licensing and availability, and connects them in real time with simul-ring technology. So multiple phones ring at once, and whoever picks up first gets the call. So let's break down how this actually works. Step 1 is IVR pre-qualification. IVR stands for Interactive Voice Response. It's the automated system that says press 1 for Medicare, press 2 for life insurance. That simple menu serves 2 purposes. Filters out junk and wrong numbers so you're not wasting agent time. And it routes the callers to agents who specialize in that product. Step 2 is smart matching. Once the system knows what the caller wants, it looks at your agent roster and identifies who can take this call. Are they licensed in the state? Do they sell this product? Are they available right now, or are they already on another call? The system checks all of that in real time. Step 3 is simul ring. Instead of ringing one phone and waiting for someone to pick up, the system rings multiple qualified agents simultaneously. First one to pick up gets the call. If nobody picks up within 10 or 15 seconds, step 4 is failed over. The call doesn't just die. It either goes to a voicemail with an auto SMS that says, sorry, you missed the call. Click here to schedule a callback. Or it gets added to a callback queue and an agent calls them back within 5 minutes. Either way, you're capturing that lead instead of losing it. This whole process happens in under 30 seconds. The caller doesn't experience any delay or any friction. From their perspective, they dialed a number and an agent answered. But on your end, you've got this intelligent system making sure every call gets answered by the right person at the right time. Now, component number 4 is the call intelligence layer, and this is what turns a good system into a scalable operation. Most agents are flying blind. They take calls all day, but they don't know which calls are coming from which campaigns, what the caller said, how the conversation went, whether they enrolled or not, and if they didn't, why. Without that data, you can't improve anything. So here's what you need. Feature 1 is auto recording. Every call gets recorded automatically. This serves 2 purposes, coaching and compliance. You can go back and listen to your best enrollments and figure out what really worked. You can catch mistakes before they become patterns. And if you ever get audited or challenged, you got a complete record of exactly what was said. Feature 2 is transcription. Listening to every call takes forever. Transcription converts the audio into searchable text, so you can scan conversations in seconds and look for keywords. Did the agent mention deductibles? Did they explain the network? Did they ask for the enrollment? You can quality check 50 calls in the time it would take to listen to 2. Feature 3 is source attribution. You need to know which ad campaign and which keyword or audience drove each call. That's how you figure out what's actually working. If you're spending $10,000 a month on ads and you don't know which $2,000 is generating enrollments and which $8,000 is wasting money, you're just gambling. Feature 4 is CRM integration. When a call comes in, the caller's information automatically populates in your CRM. Name, phone number, product interest, call recording, transcript, everything. No manual data entry, no forgetting to log the call. It just happens. Feature 5 is a unified dashboard. All this data lives in one place. You can see in real time how many calls came in today, how many were answered, what the conversion rate is, which agents are performing the best, which campaigns are driving the most revenue. That's how you manage a business, not just take calls. All right, component number 5 is implementation. This is where most systems fall apart. Everything I just described sounds complicated, because it is if you're building it yourself. You need ad accounts on Google and Facebook. You need call tracking numbers. You need an interactive voice response system. You need routing logic. You need recording infrastructure. You also need a CRM. That's 10 different tools in 90 days of setup. That's why we built our platform. The entire stack lives in one platform. You plug in your license information and your availability. We generate your tracking numbers and set up your interactive voice response. We connect to your CRM and we just give you the dashboard. And most teams go live in just a few minutes, from start to finish. Here's what that actually looks like in action. You sign up, we do a 30-minute onboarding call where we walk through your products and your markets and your capacity. We get your card added and agents on the platform. We connect your CRM if you've got one, or we give you ours, and that's it. You're live. Calls start flowing within seconds. The ad campaigns are either done by you if you've got an agency, or we handle it all through AdTech Media, all through our platform. We've managed over $100 million in ad spend across Medicare, health, auto, final expense, solar, HVAC, and roofing. We know what creatives work. We know what targeting works. We know how to scale profitably. You can either learn that through trial and error over the period of 5 to 10 years, or you can use our playbooks and start getting results in day 1. Now let me give you some actual numbers so you can see what this looks like in practice. Our top agents are converting 25 to 30% of inbound calls into enrollments. That's compared to the industry average of 2 to 3% for cold outreach. That's a 10x difference. Cost per enrolled customer drops by 50 to 80%, because even though cost per call might be higher, you're not wasting time calling disconnected numbers or people who hang up. You're paying for qualified conversations that actually convert. And agents who make this shift are seeing 10 to 20x production increases. An agent making $30,000 a month cold calling age leads switches to inbound calls, and they're at $150,000 to $200,000 a month within a few months. Same agent, same products, different system. Here's why this matters so much in 2025 and 2026. Lead quality collapsed industry-wide. Age lead lists are sold to 50 to 100 agents at once. To that contact they're calling has already talked to a dozen competitors. Facebook lead costs tripled from $8 per lead in 2020 to $25 or more in 2024, while quality got cut in half. And TCPA enforcement is only ramping up. There are law firms making millions suing agents for unsolicited calls. Meanwhile, consumer behavior shifted permanently. People are hostile to cold outreach. 80% of cold calls go straight to voicemail. Unknown numbers get ignored. People expect instant connection when they initiate contact because Amazon and Uber trained that expectation. The agent who builds inbound system right now, while competitors are still buying age lists, will have the same advantage as agents who adopted internet leads in 2005, while everyone else was still using direct mail, or agents who implemented CRMs in 2010, while competitors were using spreadsheets. It's a permanent productivity advantage that compounds over time. So in summary, here's the complete system. High intent ad campaigns using mode match, friction flip, specificity, time anchors, and compliance across Google, Facebook, and YouTube. Consumer-initiated inbound calls giving you dynamic control, zero lag timing, micro-commitment psychology, and TCPA protection. Real-time routing using IVRs, smart matching, simul-ring, and failover. Call intelligence with routing, transcription, attribution, CRM integration, and a unified dashboard. And a done-for-you implementation that gets you live in just a few minutes. Everything is downstream from qualified conversations. You own those conversations, and the rest compounds. That's the system. If this breakdown helped, hit subscribe, because I publish new playbooks like this every single week. And if you want the done-for-you version, check out the link in the description. We generate consumer-initiated inbound calls, route them in real time, and give you the dashboards, so you can coach and scale. Most teams can go live within seconds. Keep me posted on what you thought, and we'll see you on the next one.